Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's On The Social. This is the show where you take control and send in questions for me to answer. Once again, I had quite a few questions coming today, so I'm just going to go through the ones that were randomly selected. So I'm going to start off. I've got one here from Twitter, @Phil Gatwick. Do you reckon Pellegrini is already looking to the January window? Would he maybe be looking at someone to cover for Arnie, given the fact Antonio is not a centre forward? Or will he be thinking Andy Carroll would be okay? Yeah, he's definitely probably got one eye on the January transfer window, especially with Sanchez. Looks like he's out for the rest of the season now. But as for up front, I mean, we've got Hernandez to come back, and as you say there, Andy Carroll. But yeah, I think he definitely would be looking at the January transfer window already. And you've also got Perez as well, so it's a bit early to say. I mean, barring injuries and Carroll comes back and stays fit and Hernandez stays fit, then I think we should be okay in the striker department. Right, moving on. Aaron Stewart. Ryan, do you think we have got the credit from the media we deserve for the last three results? I personally don't think we have. No, I totally agree with you, mate. I think after, especially the Chelsea and the Man United games, I mean, we worked our socks off in both games, especially against Chelsea and United last weekend. And all the media, whether it be on Match of the Day or in the newspapers, Sky Sports, whatever, they was all just concentrating on how poor Chelsea were and how poor Manchester United were, not how good West Ham were. So yeah, I don't think we've been given enough credit. I think every single player deserves the credit, and Pellegrini as well. Right, moving on. Steve Elliott. Do you think Winston Reid will get back into the team, as it seems Diop and Balbuena have a decent understanding between them? Me and Nicky was talking about this last night on the radio show, and we also mentioned it on Post Match Pint. Winston Reid, I'd love to see him back, but it's going to be a struggle for him to get in. It's even a struggle for Ogbonna to knock Diop and Balbuena off at the moment, because they've got a nice little partnership going, and it's refreshing to see, because down the years we sort of, especially the last few seasons, we've struggled to get a centre-back pairing that work well together. But these two, at the moment, are unbelievable. And yeah, it's a great bit of business to bring these two in for a combined fee of what? I don't even think it was more than 25 million. So, as you said though, Winston Reid to come back, great cover to have. You've also got Ogbonna as well, great cover. And you've also got young Declan Rice as well, who can play centre-back. So if we can keep everyone fit for the season, it's good to have competition in the team. Right. Danny Bristow. Do you think Pellegrini will be given the same amount to spend again at the end of the season? Or do you think it was just a one-time thing just to keep us fans and the manager happy? Well, I hope he does, mate. I'd love to see West Ham get another 120 million to spend. But sometimes, you know, you don't really need to spend that much. If the squad now we've got is fully fit and it stays fit at the end of the season, we have a good season, then why mix it up too much? I mean, we signed a lot of players in the summer transfer window, and as you see, we sort of struggled at the beginning, but now it's starting to click. I can definitely see there being a couple of players leaving the club and a couple of players coming in, but whether we need to spend that sort of money again, unless he wants to go out and buy an £100 million striker, you know, that'll be, which I don't ever think would happen. But yeah, it depends on how the season goes, really. Right, Jack Young. When Wilshere and Lanzini are back, do you put both back into the starting 11? Oh, it's a tough one, because at the moment, you should never change a winning team. I don't care who you got on the bench, you should never change a winning team. And at the moment, Noble, Obiang and Declan Rice, barring injuries, can only play themselves out of the team with bad performances. So if they keep this level up, then they can't be replaced. Lanzini, for me, I'd love to see a way to get, when he's fully fit, to get Arnautovic up top, Anderson, Yarmolenko and Lanzini and a diamond, just to get them clicking, because that, for me, would frighten a lot of teams. As for Jack Wilshere, no, he don't come straight back into the team, but he's a great option to have. He's a great option to have on the bench. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some of these players back. Right, At edrupt_James. Isn't it funny how having Wilshere get injured has made us better side without him in it? Bench warmer when he returns, in my opinion. Thoughts? Yeah, I don't think you can solely blame Jack Wilshere for the first 4 defeats, but I think the missing link in that midfield trio was Declan Rice. I mean, if Declan Rice would have played with Obiang and Wilshere, it might be the same. We might have had the same impact, but you never know. It's all ifs and buts. But no, I think Jack Wilshere, for me, as I just said in the previous question, if Obiang, Rice and Noble are on top of their game, then Wilshere doesn't get back in the team. But he's a great option to have. And when you look at our bench now, it's so strong. It's so strong. It's the strongest I've seen it for a long time. Right, Martin Ford. Do you think that we are now getting over that negative time with the move to the London Stadium and now things are on the up? Yeah, I think it's always going to have negatives about the London Stadium, but it's a lot better. It's a lot. But if you look back to when we first started there to now, to Saturday, I mean, the atmosphere on Saturday was unbelievable. It's probably the best I've heard it there. It's up there with, I mean, we've had a few good nights at the London Stadium, but Saturday was non-stop for 90 minutes. The fans were up for it. The players got up for it. We silenced the Man United fans, and that's what the London Stadium can be. You know, when it's a sellout, it's rocking. It's a good place to be. But when you're losing, it's not a good place to be. When you lose, people pick up on the negatives. But as long as West Ham can keep performing, playing well, then all the negatives sort of go to the back of your mind and we concentrate what's going on the pitch, which is the main thing. Right, Terry Andrews. I don't think we have got the credit we deserve for our past 4 performances. Overall from the media, especially against United, I think Pellegrini is building something. What do you lads think? Yeah, I mean, as I said in the previous question, I don't think the media have given us enough credit. I don't think they've given the players enough credit. I don't think they've given Pellegrini credit. I mean, after 4 games, some pundits were tipping us for relegation, when most of us West Ham fans sat back and thought, you know, it's going to click. You know, you can see it. Because when you think about it, take away the Liverpool game, Bournemouth was 1-0 up at home and we threw it away. Arsenal away, we deserved a lot more than a defeat. We deserved a minimum of a point. And then Wolves at home was a last-minute defeat. But ever since that international break, we've come back. Great win at Everton. Great point at home against a tough Chelsea team. And, of course, Manchester United at the weekend. And also chucking in the Macclesfield win, because that gave the club so much, you know, confidence. It gave the club a lift. Everyone connected with West Ham was buzzing after that result, and we took it into the Man United game. Let's hope now that we can take it into the Brighton game, get 3 more points on the table, and start moving up. Right. Nigel Prudhomme. Would you sell Hernandez in the January transfer window and look to bring in a better option? He has done nothing for me, plus we need some to help with injuries that we might pick up. Now, for me, look, I would keep Hernandez. I think he's a good option to have. If he's happy at the club and he wants to stay, then keep him. We know he's a goal scorer. Last season, he was in and out of the team. You know, he was played out of position. He was on the bench a lot. I'm hoping that Pellegrini can sort of fit him in a bit more into the team. He probably ain't a starter because Arnie's on fire at the moment with Yarmolenko and Anderson. So it's going to be tough for Hernandez to get in. But what an option to bring on, you know, as long, and we've got Lucas Perez as well. He hasn't really done much, but he got his goal against Macclesfield, so hopefully that gives him a bit of confidence when he does play. So yeah, now for me, I would definitely keep Hernandez. Right, moving on. At G90WHU, Greg Hobbs. Realistically, with the squad we have, what would be classed as an achievement this season? For me, top 10 and above is a massive achievement for West Ham, especially after the last couple of seasons. It's been a struggle, relegation battles. So if we can sort of see a bit more better football, which we have over the last few weeks, keep that going. We know we're not going to win every game. Come on, we're not going to win every game. But if we put in performances and we lose, you can hold your hands up and say, well, at least they tried. Well, at least they give it a go. And that's what we want to see from a West Ham team. But for me, a good cup run as well. The League Cup, we've obviously been drawn against Spurs, which will be a massive game at London Stadium. But if we get through that, why not? You know, you can start dreaming of that day out of Wembley. And the FA Cup as well, take it seriously. We're not in the Champions League, we're not in the Europa League, we're not going to win the Premier League. So as long as we're comfortable in the Premier League, then why don't we go for these cups? Why not give it a try? Right, Aaron Hobday, what do you think has been the main reason in why we have gone from losing the first 4 games to going unbeaten in 4? Is it the fact the team have gelled, etc.? For me, I think the international break come at the right time. I think Pellegrini obviously went to see his family in Chile. The players who weren't on international duty spent a bit of time at home. Then the lads got back together. And I think they are now starting to pick up on Pellegrini's tactics and what he actually wants. Also, we've got a settled back 4 now. You've got Zabaleta, Diop, Balbuena and Masuaku. For me, Masuaku was outstanding, you know. I'll give him credit on post-match point. I wouldn't say I'm not one of his biggest fans, but sometimes he frustrates me with his defensive game. But no, look, and also that midfield trio of Obiang, Rice and Noble, it's perfection. And then you've also got a bully of a striker in Arnautovic, and he don't stop running, you know. He chases things down, he's strong. And then you've got Yarmolenko and Anderson now that are finding a bit of form. So, yeah, I mean, it comes down to all them reasons, really. I think Pellegrini is a massive factor in it, and I also think that the players as well. So, yeah, that's it for this week's questions. Thank you so much for sending them in. Some really good questions there. As always, give me your thoughts below. Let you know your answers on any of them questions. It's a big week for West Ham this week again. We go to Brighton to look to extend this unbeaten run. But Brighton's a tough place to go, so keep an eye out for all the previews. Me and Nicky are going up there. Looking forward to it. So if you see us after the game, win, lose or draw, hopefully a win, come and see us for a fan cam. And then Saturday morning, we're going to be filming post-match points. So there's loads going up this week. And as always, keep subscribing to the channel. We're flying at the moment. Really enjoying it, just like West Ham. We're buzzing as well. So yeah, I'm Ryan Archer at West Ham Fan TV. Thank you so much for watching this video. Come on, you Irons.